doing cocaine and fucking stuff, fucking girls.
What do you want to get from this interview?
I want to see how much you've changed.
No, because you're a piece.
Mike Tyson has slammed Jake Paul following the cancellation of the Gervonta Davis fight, and the aftermath is nothing less than embarrassing. Tyson cut through the hype, revealing the fear and vulnerability lurking behind the YouTuber-turned-boxer's polished persona. It was a crushing blow to everything Jake Paul presents himself as.
Because you have someone that we come from two different sides, like, of the world. We still on the same path to get the same thing.
The highly anticipated fight scheduled for November 14th, 2025 at Miami's Casa Center was abruptly called off. Fans, media, and boxing insiders alike were left completely stunned by the news.
So I was thinking too, maybe Tank isn't used to being the B-side of a fight.
B-side, so everybody's working around his schedule, and now...
Yeah, when you the A-side, you get to dictate things, you pick who you want, blah, blah, blah. Maybe he's not used to being the B-side.
The cancellation quickly turned into a major spectacle. Jake Paul announced publicly that he was stepping back out of respect for the ongoing legal issues involving Gervonta Davis.
This fight has officially been canceled. It is off. It is not happening on November 14th.
Paul explained that he didn't want to participate in a fight clouded by legal controversies, framing it as a matter of responsibility and strategy. He presented the decision as a smart move, avoiding negative headlines, preserving the sport's integrity, and maintaining his image as a fearless competitor who only enters the ring on his own terms.
So that fight that was supposed to go down with Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis in Miami on November 14th is not happening. It has been canceled officially, and this comes, not too long after Gervonta Davis was accused of assaulting a woman at a strip club.
Man, you know what I heard? I heard that Gervonta Davis was being very difficult to work with, and Netflix was just waiting for a reason.
But Tyson saw straight through it. The legendary heavyweight didn't hold back when addressing Paul's explanation, calling it empty, insincere, and a clear attempt to shield a fragile image rather than a principled choice. Tyson highlighted what many were ignoring. Paul's empire, built on hype, social media, and carefully managed PR, had never been truly tested against a world-class boxer like Davis. He dismantled the notion that this was about respect, showing that in reality, Paul was underestimating the challenge while overestimating his own abilities.
On worldwide television, can you fight this nigga talking?
Mike Tyson completely shattered the idea of Paul's invincibility. He pointed out that most of Paul's 12 wins, including 7 knockouts, came against non-boxers or crossover MMA fighters, opponents who couldn't match his weight class or technical ability, even in his most celebrated bouts. His 2024 split decision victory over Tyson at age 58 sparked debate and relied more on spectacle than skill. Tyson's message was clear. Jake Paul had never faced a real boxing challenge, and Gervonta Davis, with his lightning-fast speed and knockout power, epitomized that true test.
Well, he wants to make some money.
No, I know, he's a good showman.
Fellow.
The absurdity of Paul's claim was even clearer when looking at the numbers. Davis competes at lightweight, where speed and technical skill are key. Paul, however, has primarily fought at cruiserweight or heavyweight, depending on power and size to dominate his opponents.
AJ wanted to go through the motions, wrap the hands, and just gear up to what is...
Tyson stressed that despite Paul's larger size, taking on Davis would present a completely different challenge. Every previous fight that bolstered Paul's reputation would count for almost nothing against a boxer of Davis's level. The story of a strategic withdrawal didn't add up. What was really happening was the first real fracture in the foundation of Paul's carefully built empire.
It was Jake Paul who found a scapegoat kind of and an exit strategy and got to move.
Tyson also highlighted the emotional impact of the situation. Fans were hyped, tickets sold, and media coverage was everywhere, all for a fight that never happened. The sudden cancellation, framed as a noble choice, sent shockwaves through the boxing world. Social media erupted with memes, debates, and hot takes. Amid it all, Tyson's remarks cut to the core of the truth. Paul's bravado, bold claims, and larger-than-life persona were now being questioned. The fearlessness he projected was under scrutiny, and the first true test of his career had been avoided, not out of morality or respect, but because the challenge was far greater than he expected.
Well, what I'm saying is that I feel really good.
Even boxing insiders joined the conversation. The debate over who actually pulled out, the legal issues surrounding Davis or Paul himself, added weight to Tyson's criticism, challenging Paul's claims of taking the moral high ground. Paul appeared not only evasive, but also calculated in protecting the image of an empire that was flashy, yet fundamentally untested. Tyson framed his remarks as a warning to Paul and anyone watching. The boxing world is unforgiving, and hype can only take you so far. True skill, real danger, and the readiness to face them head-on are what separate fighters from celebrities. While Paul's rise has been impressive in terms of social media influence and promotional power, it was built on a foundation never tested under real pressure. This situation highlighted overconfidence, misjudgment, and the limits of a career designed more for spectacle than substance. Tyson's critique stripped away the bravado, exposing the vulnerability behind Paul's confident public image.
Got a very talented YouTuber that's built himself into a massive influence with huge following.
And speaking of Paul's empire, let's break it down. On paper, Jake Paul seemed like a boxing powerhouse. 12 wins, 1 loss, 7 knockouts. But a closer look tells a different story. Most of his victories came against non-boxers, MMA crossovers, and mismatched opponents. His most celebrated win, the 2024 split decision over Mike Tyson, looked impressive until you consider Tyson was 58, making a comeback that, while brave, wasn't the same as facing a prime, elite-level boxer. Paul's fights were promoted as massive events, packed with media hype, flashy entrances, and social media campaigns. But when it comes to pure technical skill, the cracks in his record start to show.
Hank's team is now fighting back, and they're stating, and he was more scared than he had ever been before a fight by facing Gervonta.
The cancellation revealed weaknesses in Paul's record that no victory ever could. His size advantage, which may have helped against certain opponents, meant little against Davis. While Paul excels in the cruiserweight and heavyweight divisions, Davis competes at lightweight with blistering speed, knockout power, and the technical ability to dismantle anyone unprepared. Tyson stressed that this would have been Paul's first real test against a fighter with a completely different skill set than the spectacle opponents he had dominated. The image of fearless Jake Paul began to falter, and even his most loyal fans had to wonder, could Paul truly withstand a genuine boxing challenge?
One of the most feared punchers in the sport of boxing. He's got a 93% knockout percentage. That's one of the best among current world champions.
Gervonta Tank Davis' team fights back. After Jake Paul canceled the fight, went on a tirade.
Davis's legal issues didn't make him any less dangerous in the ring. While they added chaos to the situation, the allegations may have given Paul a convenient excuse to back out, or at least make it look that way. But Tyson's remarks made it clear that avoiding this fight didn't boost Paul's reputation. Instead, it highlighted the limits of his carefully crafted image. For the first time, the public could see that Jake Paul's confidence might rely more on clever marketing, social media influence, and staged fights than on genuine, tested boxing skill.
Jake fought a guy who was his age and was also considered a boxer, and he lost.
It just pisses me the fuck off. And then
you're good. The cancellation quickly became a cultural moment. Fans voiced their outrage, analysts scrutinized every comment, and social media exploded with speculation. Amid it all, Tyson's words cut through the noise. Paul's bravado, his empire built on hype, and his untouchable image suddenly seemed fragile. The fight that never happened did what no victory ever could. It stripped away the spectacle, exposing a fighter protected by hype rather than tested by real danger. It was a perfect storm of chaos, curiosity, and critique. Hype collided with reality, persona collided with skill, and Jake Paul's carefully crafted empire shook in full view. Through it all, Tyson's message was clear. Boxing isn't about image, hype, or avoiding true challenges. It's about stepping into the ring, facing real threats, and proving, without cameras, tweets, or spectacle, that you belong there.
So that fight that was supposed to go down with Jake Paul and Gervonta Tank Davis in Miami on November 14th is not happening. It has been canceled.
The moment the cancellation went public, social media erupted. Fans, analysts, and even casual observers couldn't stop debating one question. Who really pulled out, Jake Paul or Gervonta Davis's legal issues? Twitter threads exploded, TikToks went viral, and Instagram reels dissected every wild theory imaginable. Some fans were outraged, others amused, and many couldn't believe the drama had reached such intensity over a fight that never happened. Every statement from Paul's camp was analyzed, every vague tweet scrutinized, and every meme became part of the commentary on the chaos. Yet amid all the turmoil, anticipation only grew. People became obsessed with Paul's next move. Could he repair his image? Could he face a genuine challenge? Or would the empire he built on spectacle continue to teeter on shaky ground? The pressure was intense, and every action, from press statements to training videos to social media posts, was now a test of whether Jake Paul could survive beyond the hype.
It's Jake, it's consensual. Two consensual parties, two women.
Say that word.
No, I'm saying it's consensual. I'm saying these two women.
So he paid women to beat on each other.
Looking ahead, speculation about Paul's next fight on Netflix added even more intrigue. Rumored opponents included Nate Diaz, Francis Ngannou, Ryan Garcia, and Terrence Crawford. While none were lightweight like Davis, each presented a unique challenge. The takeaway was clear. The cancellation left Paul in a position where he could no longer rely solely on spectacle. Tyson's critique loomed over him like a shadow, a reminder that every future fight would be judged by skill and reality, not hype. That canceled fight became symbolic. Jake Paul's rise had been flashy, media-driven, and hype-fueled, but fragile. One canceled bout, one public takedown by a legend like Mike Tyson, and the facade cracked. Tyson didn't just critique a fighter. He revealed the truth behind the empire, showing that beneath the theatrics and bravado, Paul's image was vulnerable. Now, the boxing world and social media are watching closely, waiting to see if Jake Paul can withstand the reckoning.